Guys, what's up? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages. And today we're going to talk about the last pre-release building that I have from Lemax. This is the Lemax Cursed Ruins, and I saved what I think is the best for last. Here is the box, guys. Check this out. We're going to get into the box here in a minute to talk about the packaging. But here is what it looks like on the outside, and here's the inside. This is a hybrid cardboard and like this molded type cardboard packaging here. The back of it's more of a standard box. So the building is not in here. I took that out for a reason. I didn't want to drop it or something, but you take that off here and inside here, and it does fit. It fit very well in it, but inside here, put that down. Wanted to show this is a fogging piece, so you actually do get some extra fogging, these little wicks right here. But packaged very, very well when it came out of here. Again, I took it out before camera because I don't want to drop this, drop it out of here while trying to do that. Yeah, I did want to talk about that briefly because it's the first bigger building I've seen that has this. And it did fit very snug. Here are the Cursed Ruins, guys. Now, normally I wait till the end to show the soundtrack, to play it with like lights and sound. I'm going to do that shortly here, so the format of the video is going to be a little bit different. But check this out. Very heavy building here. The construction's very heavy. On the side here, this is a fogging building. So you'll pull this out here on yours, and I hope you can see this very well. Apologies if you can't. This little piece is magnetic here, if you can see that right there, and it goes on a certain way with these little plugs here. You'll see it goes to the other, to the metal connectors right there. But your wicks are right here. I've already ran this one, so you put it in there, and again, you'll want to match up the connectors on it. And it's magnetized, so it goes in there like that once you have it on. Shut that. To operate it, when you turn this on, you'll want to put water in here. If the water is too low, you'll see a red blinky light, but you actually can turn the fogger on or off on this piece here with this little switch right over here that's on the side of the building. So what I'm going to do here, because I really need to talk about the soundtrack as you know, as it goes to the rest of the building here as it pertains to it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with the full lights and sound, and then give you my thoughts in more detail at the end of it here. I freaking love this building. I love the Cursed Ruins. This is awesome. The fogging mechanism, as you can see in the video, works great, but man, I love the soundtrack. You know, so I don't talk about the Lemax soundtracks very often, just because they're really not for me. I really don't play the soundtracks very much because you normally have the talking that's going on, right? And it kind of repeats, I think in 60-second loops. And because of that, it's not something like, you know, I don't want my whole display to kind of be themed around one building where the person just says something like the building's name a lot of times is used in the different soundtracks over and over again. I like when there's sort of like an ambiance type soundtrack, and Lemax has done some of them in the past. Hollowgraves Manor comes to mind. That's one of the best. Department 56 used to do the ambient type soundtracks where it was more like Halloween sounds, you know, maybe eerie music. So it's very, very cool to see this one has an awesome soundtrack. I love the soundtrack and the vibe that it gives. I would run that soundtrack in a display just because it doesn't really pertain necessarily just to this building. It could go for the whole display. So I love that, and I was not expecting that, and it really bumps this one up a notch. But Even that aside, which is a bonus because I'm not always running a soundtrack, just there's times when you're, watching TV or whatever, you just don't want the soundtrack going. But I love how this looks. It's got the heavy construction, the fit and finish is fantastic, and I love the theming. I love the fogging and how it goes with the lights, because there's no animation here, but the actual fog, of course, that's rolling out of the mouth there, that is sort of animated, obviously, but it's not like a mechanical piece. But I love the lighting, and I love those candles that are on the side of the house there. So outside of the fog, which looks very cool rolling out of the skull, there's no actual animation. It's all really dynamic lighting, though, that goes with it. I love the candles that they're not actually like flickering, but the candles look like they're flickering, the way that they're lit, and the top, like the flame actually moves slightly there. I really, really like that. I like the castle that's on top of the the ruins below. I know that might not be for everybody, especially with the candles on the side. That might be too much for some folks. Totally understand that, but this is totally my vibe. I love a spooky castle on top of some ruins, and I love that skull and the piercing eyes. This is such a wonderful showpiece if you just want like one piece to have either of a center of a display or just to have the piece by itself that people can be like, wow, check that thing out. I love the Lemax fogging pieces, and the thing is with them, they've done a couple of them, I guess, recently. You have Skull Cape Quarry, which is really, really good. You have the Pumpkin Island, which I liked, but I didn't like how there was animation on the top corner of it. I thought that was a little needless. And then you have this one here. So they've done some really, good and popular fogging pieces in recent years. I really, really like this one. This one and Skull Cape Quarry are just standouts to me. This piece is just totally my vibe. It's over the top, but in a good way. I like how there's no animation on it. The fogging just looks awesome coming out of that mouth. And for those wondering, I actually just use water from my refrigerator. So it's filtered water, but it's not like distilled water. And I had this thing smoking here, fogging, pretty much within seconds once I had it filled up, enough. And I did soak the wick beforehand. I've heard some people do that, some people don't. I soak the wicks before, before I wind up turning it on. And again, mine was making fog within seconds of being filled up and turned on. So that's the Cursed Ruins, guys. I love it. It's an over-the-top piece. I just love the castle on top of the ruins there, and I even love the little candles coming up the side of it there, like on the stairwell. I think it just, it's my vibe. I don't know what else to say about it. Really, really like the piece. I love the soundtrack. It's got such a phenomenal soundtrack on it. Just a huge, huge fan. So that's the Cursed Ruins, guys. We've already done the lights and sound, I guess, before here. So I'm not going to do that here at the end. I don't have a tease for next time here. Michaels is supposed to be putting Spooky Town stuff out, at least from what I've read, fairly soon. So once my Michaels store has some of the Spooky Town stuff in, I will be there and talking about that. If my Michaels doesn't have stuff out for a while, I might be doing some other theme videos. So I'm not sure what video is going to be next on this channel, but there's going to be one here soon. So I'm very excited that we're in the season. Just pumped now. Pumped. All the Halloween stuff is starting to come out of all the stores, and this is just it's a great time. It's one of the most fun times annually for me. So hope you guys enjoy it out there too. I know many of you do, actually, from chatting with a bunch of you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you as always to my Patreon supporters, and I'll see you soon.